Well, welcome to the Christy Jones Show, where it's all about living your life to the fullest. I'm a life coach, speaker, and business owner in multifamily real estate, and I've had wild success in multifamily housing for over 25 years now. I am so passionate about helping others merge their success and lead a fulfilling life. And I bring it all together right here on this podcast. So join me and let's get started to live your life to the fullest. Well, hey, my friend, welcome back to another episode of the Christy Jones Show. So glad you're here. You're going to love hanging here for the next 20, 25 minutes, maybe 30 minutes. We'll see how long it goes. But I'm excited to record this episode for you today and to really bring some wisdom and bring some tips and tools that you can apply in your own life. Because that's what all this is about, right? Is living our life fully and figuring out the things that we can adjust and do and create to really make sure that we are each living our life to the fullest. All right. So I recently had a conversation with someone that after that conversation wrapped, I thought, I've got to share this in a way that would be useful for other people that might be going through this. And I know that this is going to apply to anyone that's wanting to try something new. Maybe you're starting a business. Maybe you're already in business. What I'm going to talk about goes on with business owners all the time. You're an entrepreneur. You're, doing something on your own. You're creating something. You're a small business owner, whatever the case may be. Maybe you're in leadership. You're not self-employed, but you're going to hear this message and go, gosh, I struggle with that all the time. And I'm going to give you some things to think about on how you might approach these situations differently. And also, when I had this session with this person, this is why coaching is so valuable and so helpful, because we get in our own way and we cannot see the forest for the trees. We need a fresh perspective. And sometimes from a coach, what we need is we need that nudge. A coach needs to know when to say, you need to go, let's go. And also when to encourage you and suggest and offer to the client that here are some things to think about, to rehash, to consider. So coaching is so individual, but in this scenario that I'm going to share of the things that we were talking about, this is why coaching helps you move forward. Coaching helps you focus forward to get unstuck, because being stuck is the worst. That feeling of being stuck. I mean, I've never heard anyone say, I love this feeling. I love this feeling of feeling stuck and not knowing what to do next. Said nobody ever, right? So this is where coaching really gets so effective. And yes, I'm talking about life coaching that can apply to your life or your business. But if you played a sport, pause for a second and think about how important of a role that your coach played in the development of whatever sport you played. Now, if you played sports for a while or you had a lot of different sports that you played, you probably had coaches that you connected with better, and other ones that still made a good impact, but just didn't have that same connection. And that's completely normal. But every coach, when you think back to if you did play a sport, think back to what they contributed, how they poured into you, and how they got you to elevate your game. Same thing in life. All right. So, same thing in life and in business. Coaches help you elevate your life. They help you get to that next level. They open up doors of expansion. They propel you forward. And so, in this conversation, and where I'm going to share some tips and nuggets from that, it really helps you get unstuck and get out of your own head and see where you can't see the forest because of the trees. All right. So that's where the rubber meets the road. That's where like the real action happens. Okay, so here was the scenario. So highly, highly, highly successful executive in the same industry for a lot of years at the same company for over a decade in a very high executive CEO position and um, had phenomenal success and had reached a point that was ready to just go into something new, something more purposeful, and really ready to shift gears. And so that transition is in process, already left the company, now in process of what is next and what they're creating. And so in that process, and in that conversation, I learned that this was the first time that this person will be going into business for themselves and, as an entrepreneur, starting a business. And so there's a lot of new territory to explore, although so much success has happened and all of that is going to pour into this. But there's a lot of new terrain to explore as well, because anytime you start a business, especially if it's your first time, there's a lot of moving parts to that maybe are foreign to you and you're discovering for the first time and you just didn't have to think about in what you did before. So as we're having this conversation, one of the areas that was kind of I'm getting stuck here was that I recognized that's all this is just the need to want to be 100% right, that I'm making the right choice. And maybe and on that particular one, it had to do with am I targeting the right niche audience? Am I is my focus, that tunnel vision I have of who I'm serving, do I have that right? And wanting 100% just like clarity that was the right decision. She wanted so much clarity that was the right way. And so during that call and during that session, I was thinking about human nature and how we want to be right. We hate to be wrong and we want to be right. And one of the beautiful things is when you can settle into being okay with being wrong, being okay with getting it wrong from time to time. And obviously, in any business, you want more W's than you do L's. I mean, that's what the goal is, right? I mean, you can't stay in business if you have all losses and you never have a win. So you want more W's than L's. But overall, you have to have a comfortability accepting that I'm going to make this choice and I'm going to narrow in on this customer base, but there's no guarantee that you're 100% right on that. There might need to be a little adjustment along the way on who exactly your customer base, who you're serving, who that is. And so I tossed that into the conversation and I said, here's the thing. Are you feeling really uncomfortable that you might get this choice wrong? And she said, yes. And to that, I said, well, that's what we need to work on, because you might be wrong on that. But here's the thing. You can adjust. You aren't married to that decision for life. And that opened up a whole nother conversation, because when you realize that you're going to make a decision in your life, in your business, in this case, this was in regards to into a new business. You've got to make a lot of decisions. I mean, if you don't ever make a decision, you're never going to know. You're never going to make any progress. You can't have things work out and you can't have things that go wrong if you don't take that first step and make a decision. So you have to get really comfortable, my friend, at making decisions. And then being comfortable knowing that obviously You're making the decision that you feel like is going to have the best outcome and deliver the result that you're wanting it to deliver. But there's also that percentage of a chance that you got it wrong. So, and what I was trying to convey is it's going to be okay. Like on that particular decision, that's an easy one to adjust. And so the hesitancy to want to commit to a decision, we need to uncover that a little bit. And then we need to get comfortable knowing that we might have to adjust that decision, tweak it a little bit as you move down the road. And what that does, what I find when I offer that up is that the person just if you're watching this on YouTube, you just saw I'm taking a deep breath and then you just let it all out and your shoulders just kind of drop and they relax a little bit. It's like giving them permission to be human, first of all, but giving them a permission to it's okay to make a decision and then move forward, take action on that decision. But if you are getting feedback and indicators that that's not giving you the result that you wanted, that it's okay to then make a different decision, to make an adjustment, to switch that up a little bit. And I feel like, especially with high achievers and especially with individuals like this who have had a lot of success and have, slayed the game in their field and done the thing that you're used to getting a lot of things right and if it's been a while and now you're doing something new, it seems really scary to get it wrong. And that's really part of being in business and being an entrepreneur. And so if and when you're new to that environment, that feeling is really foreign. Now, if you've been in business a while and been an entrepreneur a while, if that's your game, then you know that you're pretty comfortable with it. Like that's just part of life. And I find that sometimes when I share that with people, that they're like a little taken back and a little surprised. They thought that the path was going to be a little less bumpy, the path of the thing that they've been wanting to do and build and the business they've been wanting to create, that it was going to be a little smoother road ahead. And I went into business for myself 22 years ago. And so that was my first real venture at that. And you don't know what to expect. You think but most times you're learning as you go. So when they're not prepared for, you know, those moments of where you're doubting or you have that imposter syndrome that can creep in regardless of how much success you've had in your life. So, or in maybe your previous profession. So anyways, that's where we were. That was the fork in the road in that conversation. And I encouraged her to, we're going to take a look at this and we're going to realize that it's okay. You're going to make a decision. And then if you get down the road and you realize that you need to adjust that it's okay to do that. That it is perfectly okay to do that. I also want to share that one of the common factors that I find in high achievers, leaders, people that are, really pressing forward in their life is that they understand the importance of their own personal growth. That is what the difference maker is to going top level, really hitting the mark in the thing that you're wanting to do in business or in life or not. And I find that when leaders, high achievers all the things. When they really dial in to their own personal development and their own personal growth, that is when they are able to hit that next level. That's when we can get to that next level, because we all have a next level. We all have that next level in our life, in all these areas of our life. We all have that next level. We all have that ability to hit that next level of our life. But not everyone invests the time, the energy, the money, everything that it takes to really develop yourself, of your personal growth, to develop your mind so that you can expand your life to the full capacity of what it can be. So I commend this person that I was working with and talking with, because that's such a great indicator to me that they so quickly recognized, hey, I need to talk this out with someone, because I'm feeling kind of unsure, stuck, and then knowing that she needed to continue to pursue and grow in her own personal development. And that the people that do that are the ones that continue to expand, that continue to hit their next level, whatever they've made in whatever area of their life, and whatever they've made and deemed their next level for their best version of themselves. That's how you do it. Now, learning a skill, yes. Some of the other technicalities, sure. But 9 times out of 10, when I'm talking to high achievers, I'm talking to women in business, I'm talking to, you know, leaders in life, in their personal life, the ones that are knocking it out of the park are the ones that continually show up to improve and to invest in their own personal development. It's when we think we have nothing else to learn. It's that person that thinks that I know it all and there's really nothing else for me to learn. That's when things are stagnant. There's no more growth. And when there's no more growth, there's no more expansion. There's no more next level. So keep that in mind as you're going about your day, going about your week, going about your month, that if you have that itching feeling inside that you have a next level in some area of your life, but you're like, why am I not able to uncover that? You need to dive in and focus on your personal growth. That is going to give you the most result. That's going to give you the most return. Any time and or money that you spend on your own development is never a waste. Trust me, it is never a waste. You think about, like, maybe you took a class, maybe you worked with a coach, maybe you did a training, a workshop, maybe you did a certification in something that is in your field. Every single bit of it pours into you. It is a benefit for you. It's when people choose not to look at what they can do for themselves because they think they don't need anything else. They don't think they need to grow or expand. That's a dangerous place for your mind to be. A very dangerous place, because you can't grow and expand if you feel like you know everything. There's no room. There's no room for growth or expansion in that mindset. So establishing a growth mindset is instrumental. It is so key in you living your life to the fullest, in you getting to your next level. So I wanted to share with you those takeaways from that session, because I do believe that every single person can pull something from that and go, yeah, I've experienced that before, or yeah, I'm dealing with that right now. So it's really time to press go, to make some decisions. Yes, you will make some decisions and they are not going to work out, but you're going to make some decisions that do. And when you have the decisions that you make that don't work out the way you wanted to, or they don't deliver the result that you thought it was going to deliver, that is still information that is useful for you. I hate to hear when people say, "Oh, that was such a waste of time," and "Oh, that was a waste of money," and I made this decision and it just didn't happen. I made this decision and that didn't work. It did work. The thing is when you don't take any action at all, that is the worst case scenario. That is the worst decision, is to not take any action at all. When you take action and you make a decision, you will get a result. It may not be the result that you want, but you will get a result. And if it is a result that you don't want, that is information. And then you get to redecide and make a new decision. You wouldn't know the answer to that outcome unless you had made a decision and taken action. So never beat yourself up because you took action, made a decision, and went go. Never beat yourself up over that. That gives you the opportunity to step back, make a different decision, and shoot for that desired outcome once again. So I hope that gives you some encouragement and really kind of unlocks anything for you that you're feeling apprehensive on and stuck on, that you can decide again. And if you make a decision that is giving you a result that you undesirable one, like the one you didn't want, that I didn't get the results from doing X, Y, and Z, that did nothing. Okay, great. Now you know. Now you know that that didn't work. That only gave you 5% of what you were hoping to get from all, the activity you put behind that decision. But that still is information that you can put to work for yourself. That's how you have to look at it. That's how you keep a growth mindset. Every bit of information that's coming to you from your decisions is information that you can still put to work for yourself. So please don't beat yourself up over that, okay? All right, well, I hope this episode has little fire under your butt a little bit and really got you to think of some things that maybe you're stalling out on, that you need to make some decisions on, and understanding that starting something new is the unknown, and it's okay. But staying stuck and not giving yourself the opportunity to go to that next level in your life, that's really a disservice to yourself. Don't cheat yourself out of that. All right. Well, thank you so much, you guys. I have the best time hanging out here with you, and I hope that you share this with a friend for sure. Send this episode on, share it on your social media, and rate and review the show below. Send me I always love hearing from you. Please, if you have, episode ideas, something you want me to dive more into, you know how to reach me. Drop me a DM and I will get back to you. And of course, I would love to cover the content that you want to know about right now. I do it all the time. I love to hear from you guys. All right. Have the best day. Take care. I just want to thank you for tuning in today to the podcast. And I hope you've enjoyed the conversation and all the info that's been shared today. And I hope you've come away with a few ideas on how to make the most out of it for your life. If you loved this episode, be sure to share it with your friends and family. And also make sure you subscribe to the podcast and tap that subscribe button so you never miss an episode. Also, it would mean the absolute world to me if you would leave a podcast review. So until next time, my friend, keep flourishing and thriving and live your life to the fullest.